up, pretty gang? It's your favorite nail tech, Peaches. Welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing this beautiful nude set with a marble nail accent, and really I am going to be focusing on shaping and filing. I did include application, but it is sped up because again I wanted to focus on filing because I mean, y'all, come on, y'all see it, y'all see the shape. Okay, so before we get into it, you guys already know, make sure that you are following me on both of my Instagrams. Dominique Jackson is going to be our subscriber for today, and of course subscribe, turn on your notifications, pretty gang in a building, and that's all that is. Okay, so basically these are the colors we're using: Second Nude, Touch of Lips, Fast Play, Chocolate Thunder by Not Polished, because if it ain't not polished, it's not what, it's not nothing, of course. So just a quick tip for you guys: when I go ahead and use multiple colors that's supposed to be in order. Okay, so all of my color swatches are done by, like, what is that called? They're done by color. So I have like a ring for pinks and purples, a ring for nudes, a ring for like oranges to reds, you know, greens, etc. But I grab the nudes based on how dark do they want to go, and then I just choose a section on my nude ring because they're already ordered by like lightest to darkest, as well as within the lightest to darkest there's like obviously different undertones. So for these I just kind of chose like 5 that were right next to each other and then just played with which ones I did and didn't want. Does that make sense? So with that being said, it makes it a lot easier. I know everybody organizes their swatches differently and stuff, but that just makes it a lot easier. Typically with these type of looks, I do not let the client choose because honestly they be taking forever, and half the time they just be choosing nudes. They don't go based off undertones or nothing. And then you got all these colors that, like, yeah, it is lightest to darkest, but the undertones are off or they're too mixed up, and we don't want that. Okay, so I also have my client help me as far as like if I'm done with a color, I'm gonna give it to them to put it at the back of the line so I can keep organized with which color is what and also what goes where, because you do not want to accidentally put something out of order or accidentally use the same color twice. Like, we just want to stay organized. Okay, so we are working sped up today, as I said, and basically you guys are just gonna watch me go ahead and do this application. So we are starting with the darkest on the pinky, and you guys, this brown is so beautiful. Chocolate Thunder is one of my favorite browns. I do want to get some more. There is one darker than this called Midnight Run, and it has like little gold specks in it, and it is really, really beautiful. I do want a dark brown that is just darker than this but with like not no specks in it or anything, so kind of need to look and see what they got on their website because guys, I'm so sorry. I'm kind of just waking up, so my throat is so dry. Y'all already know how it go. So yeah, so but that's neither here nor there. So with doing application with the darker colors, take your time, because if you do not get it close enough to the cuticle area, it's when you go to file, it's gonna look like you need to fill, and that's not what you want. Okay, so because the y'all, I cannot think, because the ring finger is gonna be the marble, I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure I skip that, so that way we can go ahead and apply the next color to the middle finger. So this next color, you can see, is pretty much aligns with that brown. Now once I get to the index finger, I don't want to say the undertone shifts, but like it do just a tiny bit, but it's nothing out of control because what goes on the thumb is going to align with that undertone as well, and it's just going to keep the piece. Now these all of these colors are within the same type of undertone, and you know, the picture that she had showed me, the colors were like all way darker, but at the moment I do not have enough like deep dark browns necessarily that it's gonna have that same look. So just do what's closest, do what you do, work with what you got. Okay, because I'll be honest, you know, I've talked to some nail techs and stuff like that, and you know, you see a lot on social media, people like, oh, products is so expensive, and I'm realizing, to be honest with you, products is not that expensive. But so do you see how like it looks like this undertone might be a little different because of the shade, but it's really not. It's still like all within the same family. But products is not necessarily really expensive. I'm just realizing people don't know how to buy. Like, people are buying for each individual client rather than buying for your overall clientele. So I be trying to tell people, like, if someone sends you a picture before their appointment, like, hey, this is what I want, da 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 da, do not go and buy the products in that picture to get an exact result. They need to come to you, see what you have on the day of, so that way y'all can go ahead and decide, is this the picture you want to work with, or do you have another inspo, or can you help them build a set? Because I kind of get really tired of people charging like out of the ass prices, and to be honest, they're still beginners. They don't, or maybe their work don't look like what they're charging. Not, you know, not to be rude, but stop buying for your clients, okay? You will find a clientele, or honestly rather, they will find you, and you will be able to buy based off of that. But I understand a lot of people gain their clientele based off inspo pictures. So what you have is a bunch of people doing all the same exact thing, buying all the same exact things, trying to compete with each other. Stop trying to compete with other nail techs and find a lane that's your own. Okay, if people come to you for bling, well then what's gonna happen is you're gonna be needing to replace your bling, and that's gonna be your biggest like category of money spending. Okay, if you always keep a lot of colors and people love your color choices, okay, then you know you're gonna probably have to pay for acrylics more often than others. But we don't need to be out here buying products for each client, because to be honest, you're gonna buy it for that specific client, and if nobody else wants to use it, then yeah, you are wasting money. But products is not, products themselves, if you know how to buy, it's not gonna be that expensive. So if you're one of those people that you don't know where all your money is going, honestly, that's probably where it's going, because it's just not necessary, okay? And I don't want to sound like I'm like being rude to people who do that, but you will realize how much money you will save once you stop buying for each individual client and just replace your products and your stuff as necessary, and stop trying to keep up with every trend, because trends are just that. They recycle, they go around, they come back. So you know what I'm saying? Me personally, I keep set stuff all the time. Like I have a crap load of charms all the time, but I'm not buying them every week. It's like if I still have a good amount, then I'm not gonna buy any more unless there's specific ones that I want, or I'm replacing something. So I'm sorry, I don't want to sound like a rant, but child, I had to put that out there, okay? So for the marble nail, all these colors are so similar. So basically what I am going ahead and doing, you can see I just mixed 2 colors on there, but it was not noticeable at all. So basically I'm just alternating the lighter brown colors. I guess they're lighter in comparison to the chocolate color, and I'm laying them down and swirling the chocolatey color through. Like I said, all the other colors except for the brown, once they're on the nail, they're just gonna meld right in together. That's the only thing about doing brown marbles. If you don't have at least one brown that sticks out, your marble is gonna be so muddled, like, yeah. So pretty easy, because they're gonna automatically blend together. And then I'm just going to cap over with a little bit of clear, which I guess I didn't show. I thought I showed, but you know, okay. So I've already filed around the cuticles and stuff like that in the C curve area, and so now I am just going ahead and cleaning up those sidewalls. So I believe I do show both hands, and I feel like that's why this video is so long. Yeah, so you want to follow the guide of the person's actual nail beds and sidewalls and stuff like that. If your shape is bulky, like in this area where I'm filing, you see how it like fits right in between where her nails are? That's what you want. If it's bulging in the middle to where like you can't see the sides of her nail skin, then that means you need to go ahead and you need to work on your application some, because once you get that application together, it's going to make things so much easier for filing. Now I'm a person, I like to go over top of the nail with the natural file and less with the e-file, just because that's my preference. Hold on, I gotta get a drink, y'all. That's my preference. I just feel like there's more surface area with the file, so it's not gonna make dips and grooves and stuff. It's just gonna smooth out just nicely. Now I know I've been saying it, but for those of you who live near San Jose, or you are in the Northern California area, or honestly California in general, for those who are bold enough, I am doing a shaping and filing workshop at the San Jose Nail Pro this month on the 20th. I do have the link in my description for those of you who do want to go ahead and buy a ticket, I do have a discount code. So if you do feel like you want to go ahead and learn from me in person, because I know every time I offer classes, people swear they want them, but nobody ever takes them. I don't know why it is, but I'm actually offering one in real life. So it is a workshop demonstration, so you will be able to participate in it and, you know, do some work. So of course, gotta promote myself, put that out there, okay? So basically, when filing, especially shorter lengths, it's a lot easier than longer lengths because you don't have to like follow such a long line of sight with your eyes and the nail. Like this, you can pretty much look at the nail, see the whole nail. The file fits just perfectly against it, and it's a lot less work. But I feel like for those who are struggling with like a more crisp look, okay, keep your file straight. You see how I'm not trying to like do any type of like tapering for real, because like I said previously, tapered square is not a real thing. This week alone, I have seen people use coffin tips, and it's a coffin and they're calling it tapered square, and I've seen people shape square and be like, this is coffin. So that's what I'm trying to tell you guys, like, go based off of what your own eyes see and how you personally shape, okay? Because clients are only going off of what's popular and what they see in pictures, but also what you post. So if they like what you post, they're gonna come to you regardless. There's people all the time that's like, oh, I want tapered square, and I don't give them nothing different outside of the square that I do, and they're perfectly happy. You know, they show me pictures all the time. I'm like, girl, that is a coffin. You want coffin? And they're like, oh, yeah, I guess whatever's in this picture. So don't think too hard into it. Don't think too far into it, because when it comes to shaping, you should just know how to do the basic shapes: coffin, square, stiletto. Everything else derives from those three, okay? So think of it as that way, and it will help you a lot more when it comes to getting your shapes together. So you saw me just go ahead and file the underneath, because that helps with crispiness, as well as making sure that the tips of the nails, the free edge, okay, is not thick. I used to do it all the time where I would like leave the tips thick and leave the sidewalls thick. I don't know why I preferred that look at the time, but it's like as I got older, as I grew into being a nail tech, I kind of realized nobody, like, thick tips is really not that cute. And then on top of that, the nails dull quicker, and the thicker the tip, the harder it is to shape. You see what I'm saying? Like, I can't explain the science behind it, but once I realized, it's just harder to shape. Like, the file can't get all those layers as crisp all at the same time, you see? So just pay attention to what you're doing, pull their skin back, and get in there. You know, they will tell you if you're hurting them or whatever. So as long as they're not saying anything, then you're good to go, unless they're lying to you. But most of the time, when it comes to pain, they're gonna say something. They're gonna at least be like, ow, or like, dang, ooh, ah, ooh. They're gonna do some type of something, okay? So, yeah, I don't have too much more to say, because this set was pretty self-explanatory and pretty straightforward. I do have an extremely light week this week, like, to the point of, like, unless somebody books in the next couple days, I'm not going to work till Friday. And, you know, at first I was kind of disappointed, like, dang, nobody wants to book me, because you guys know I was sick, so I did take off a week of work, pretty much until I felt better. So I kind of was just like, oh man, I was thinking people are gonna, you know, come right back, but in reality, most of those people didn't rebook because they didn't even live out here. They live far away, so they have to kind of wait until they come back to Sacramento. So I'm just gonna take this time I have some stuff I need to get done with my suite that I've been putting off for months, such as like redecorating, getting rid of certain stuff. I need like a new drill. Like, that's first and foremost. I know I've been saying it, but man, oh man. And then, like, I don't know, there's just so much going on in general. You know, maybe it's God telling me, like, hey girl, take a break, sit down. So maybe there's something more coming for me, and I need the break now, because later on I'll be too busy, you know. But, you know, when it come down to getting paid, child, I always, where it's a will, it's a way. I'll always get paid, please. You feel me? So we're not going to stress too much about that. If you're having a light week for September and you'd rather be working, you know what? Take the time, breathe, stay at home, relax, get some things done. There's more ways to be productive than just this. I am glad that I did record a couple of things before, so that way I can use them to upload this week. So I mean, that's good, and I saw it coming, so it's not even like I'm surprised. I mean, you know, it's my schedule, so I seen it coming, and that's fine. I'll just be sure to, like, anytime I get clients, make sure I have plenty of content on backup, so that way I have content now. So yeah, it's all good. So here we go. Now at the very end is when I take the e-file and I just go ahead and correct anything that needs correcting. And I do a last, like, smooth over the nail with this, just because, I don't know, that's just a habit I got into. Like I said, I don't really like to use the e-file for, like, shaping or actual filing or anything like that. I really like it more for the cuticles and you know, shaping up the sides and stuff like that. But I do like to go over one last I don't even know what that's called, a once over, I guess. And then you see me filing the free edge a lot, and that is because we want these nails to be crisp and we want them to be the same length. So you see how I'm just, like, comparing lengths, and after I always compare the nails to its own self on one hand, and then I compare it both hands, because I need all 10 to be the same. And sometimes before you do the process, the way the cuticles line up and stuff, it might give you different lengths versus when you're all done and the cuticle area is, you know, the skin is gone and stuff, it will show you something else. So that's why you always triple check. And then of course we need to get our buffer. Now y'all do know buffers and files is not reusable, right? Stop trying to keep them to use them next time on the client, because the grit is gone. It's not even going to work well, and if you're not getting a good shape and you're doing that, it's probably because you keep using old ass files. Can't use them on anybody else. I like to get longer buffers and I cut them in half. Okay, if somebody brings out a buffer, one of them thick block buffers, and tries to, like, oh, this is a new side, no, it needs to be a new buffer. Okay, if I learned anything, you know, like during COVID and all this monkeypox and stuff, child, not the phone. If I learned anything from this COVID era, this monkeypox, is that it's a lot of stylists and stuff, they are admitting that, like, oh, I need to clean more. I'm just to let y'all know, I'm throwing away buffers. Like, why ain't this shit you was doing before all this? So if you read between the lines, you will see who has been doing the proper sanitary guidelines before COVID and doing what they're supposed to do versus who is just now getting it together. So that's a tip if you're booking appointments and you want to know sanitary wise. Okay, this phone not gonna keep interrupting me. Anyways, y'all, this is the shape, up close shape. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I apologize for the phone. Ciao. We gonna see each other in the next one.